Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be making a counterpart to my previous video where I talked about K-pop groups I'm surprised haven't disbanded yet, and instead we're going to be talking about K-pop groups I hope never disband. Looking at the list I have right now, I actually don't stan all of the groups that are here, but I still really don't want any of them to disband just because I feel like they bring so much to the K-pop scene. So before we start, I want to give credit to the person who inspired me to make this video. My friend Brielle, who goes by Leventa on YouTube, made a video like this first, and I really recommend that you both check out her video and subscribe to her channel. The link to her video will be the first thing in the description box. Alright, that just about wraps up this intro, so without further ado, let's get into group number 1. First up, we have TWICE, and TWICE are a group that I don't want to disband for so many different reasons. They were the group that first exposed me and introduced me to K-pop, and they were the first group that I ever stanned, so there's definitely sort of a nostalgia factor that I have. Like, K-pop wouldn't be the same if the first group that I ever loved just ceased to exist. And I'm sure most of you feel the same way about your first K-pop group too. Personally, for me, if TWICE did ever disband, it wouldn't stop me from enjoying K-pop altogether, but it would totally be a blow to my enthusiasm to consume the genre. Momo was my first ever bias, and even though I don't keep up with the group that much anymore, meaning that I don't keep up with their variety content or watch every single stage that they do, it's still a huge boost of serotonin and nostalgia every time I see a clip of her come across my timeline, or my For You page, or my Explore page. Because even if I don't know everything that she's doing nowadays, Momo's still always gonna be that girl for me, you know? TWICE are also a group where it would just be so sad if they had to go their separate ways. Obviously, I'm sure they could all hold down and pursue solo careers whenever they want to, but nowadays it seems like the 9 of them are happiest when they're together, and that's not something I want to see broken up. Overall, a lot of the reasons why I don't want TWICE to disband come from an emotional point of view, and if you don't really understand what I was saying, just rewatch this section and substitute every time I said TWICE with the first K-pop group you stand, and then it'll probably make sense. So next up we have 17. Now, 17 are a group who I used to be a lot more into earlier in my life than I am right now, but they'll still always have a special place in my heart. S.Coups is who I would consider to be my first ever ultimate bias. He was actually my profile picture before I changed my channel name to Planet Minjae, and even though I haven't really been enjoying the musical direction that 17 have been taking recently with their releases such as Hot or Rock With You, I still really enjoy watching them grow as artists. I was always really scared to see what would happen when contract renewals came up, and when it turned out that they all renewed their contracts, I could not have been more happy. And sticking together as a group was obviously the correct choice because they just get more and more successful each time they release new music. I genuinely thought that Left and Right was going to be 17's most successful song ever and that they were never going to be able to top it, but it seems like with songs like Rock With You and Hot, they're finally being recognized by people worldwide and in large masses too. I don't want 17 to disband because I feel like they have so much potential to become even bigger than they are right now, and I want to see in real time where all of this momentum ends up. Right now, 17 are just starting to actually be recognized worldwide. But if they keep growing with each new comeback like they are right now, who knows how big they could become in the next few years. One of the members who I have a huge soft spot for right now is Woozi. He's composed over 90% of the group's discography and is the creative mastermind behind so much of what they do, and I might just go as far as to say he's the most hardworking idol ever. So if no other idol's efforts deserve to pay off and result in world domination, Woozi's efforts do. So I want to see all of his hard work pay off more than it already has. 17 have way too much potential to just disband within the next few years, and I just want to keep seeing their legacy grow and grow and grow each time. Out of all of the new things that 2022 K-pop has introduced us to, I think Got The Beat is one of the absolute coolest. As many of you who are familiar with my channel know, I was not the biggest fan of their debut song Step Back, at all. But the whole idea of an SM super girl group that rotates lineups each time they come back is such a cool thing that I don't want to see stop anytime soon. There are so many fantastic and talented female artists under SM Entertainment, and using Got The Beat as a way to bring all of them together and introduce both veteran and rookie idols to fans of different generations is what we need more of. I know there are so many second and third gen stans that don't really care to look into any fourth gen groups simply because they don't want to, and on the flip side of that, that, there are also a bunch of 4th gen stans that don't know many 2nd or 1st gen idols because they just don't know where to look. But a project group like Got the Beat makes discovering new artists of different generations so much easier. And the fact that we got Boa, Taeyeon, Seulgi, and Karina on the same stage this year because of Got the Beat makes me wonder what kind of combinations we could get in the future. You know, there's still Tiffany, Irene, Ningning, and maybe even like an SES member if they wanted to come back, who could really tear up the stage if they were given the opportunity. And I don't want to live in a world where Got the Beat is a one-time thing, leaving all of these talented idols without the chance to reintroduce themselves to the K-pop scene. Although I do hope that if there is another iteration of Got the Beat that they have a better song. The whole concept of the group is just too cool to not want another version of it, and I hope we get at least one Got the Beat unit per year. Alright, so 4th in this video is going to be Astro, and I never want Astro to disband because no matter what they put out, they're always a breath of fresh air within the K-pop industry. Whether it's their royal or their brighter concepts, Astro are always doing something different from everybody else, and they also stick with what they know best, which is pretty rare in K-pop. If you told me when they debuted that Astro would still be doing bright concepts today, I would have laughed in your face. That is, if I was into K-pop at the time, but anyways, that's besides the point. What I'm really trying to get at is that while everybody else is being experimental and trying something different, Astro always know how to do simply fun music. If every other group is pissing you off, then you just go back to Astro to have a good time, and they will deliver without fail every single time. Astro is that constant that you need in an industry that is constantly evolving and taking you by surprise. And if Astro disbanded, then I would lose that stability that could always bring me back with just a fun, bright song for the summer. Astro aren't the group that's highest on my priority list when it comes to who I stan, but as long as they stay active, I'll always have their back, and I hope they stay active for a long time. Alright, so next up we have Girls' Generation, and Girls' Generation is one of the groups in this video who I don't stan. But even though I don't stan them, I really love the significance of them being active within the idol industry 15 years after debut. K-pop is such a fickle industry for the idols within it, and for most of them, their careers are never going to be any longer than 7 years long. And even though Girls' Generation do have the support of one of the biggest companies in the industry, their existence is still proof that the 7-year curse is not an absolute guarantee for every single idol's career. And the success of their comeback this year for Ever One is also proof that with the correct marketing, getting older as a group does not mean you have to fade away from the public's eye. Of course, it is difficult to retain your popularity as your career progresses as an idol, but Girls' Generation are proof that it's not impossible. And I hope they never disband so they can continue to be an inspiration for all of the idol groups that are hitting the 7-year mark. Alright, next up we've got Blackpink, the girls who I chose to be the thumbnail of this video, and probably one of the groups I feel most passionate about hoping they never disband. I really don't want Blackpink to disband because I feel like they still have so much left to do as artists. I know that might sound weird because they're almost hitting the 7-year mark in their careers, but despite that, there's still so much more I want to see from them. I feel like with Blackpink, compared to a lot of other K-pop groups, we've missed out on a lot of things that they could do, such as the achievement of having a discography bigger than 50 songs, or seeing more music composing from the members, or lyric writing by the members. I know coming from YG, there's not the greatest chance that we'll be able to see these within the next couple of years, but my hope is that if the girls do renew their contracts and choose to stick together, then they'll be granted a little bit more creative freedom, or might even be encouraged to get involved with the creative process. We've all seen Blackpink grow and evolve as performers over the years, but I really want to see them step out and become true artists. 1, so I can see what they're capable of, and 2, just to shut all of the haters up. People always make these claims about Blackpink discrediting their talents or their artistic capabilities. And what I want to see from Blackpink before they disband is their ability to prove all of them wrong, because that would just be the most awesome slap in the face ever. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I feel like Blackpink still have so much left to show off, and I want to see them do it before they go away. It wouldn't be a Planet Minjae video if I didn't talk about my favorite group, so let's just get right into it. MCND should not disband because they still need to achieve world domination. They haven't had their breakout moment yet, but I know it's just around the corner, and I need to be there to see when it happens. I know with just a little bit more effort from their company and just a little more smart decision making when hiring outside producers, everyone will be able to see MCND the same way I do, and it's just a matter of time at this point. All we need to do is to survive until that point, and you can help make that happen by clicking the link in the pinned comment. Thank you. Okay, so finally for this video, we have not technically a K-pop group, but I feel like most of you know about them. We have KDA. I know there's a lot of mixed opinions about KDA and how we feel about them, but personally, I really like the idea of a virtual group, at least when the actual voices behind the characters get the recognition they deserve, and in KDA's case, that is what happens. A video game company collaborating with a K-pop group and other Western artists to make a supergroup is just such a cool idea, and the fact that they created an entire EP and choreography to go along with these animated characters is just revolutionary. I just think it's so cool that Soyeon and Miyeon of I-dle were able to really break into the mainstream by directly marketing themselves to the player base of what I would say is the biggest video game of all time, and do it in a way that presents them as musicians first and faces second. It's been a while since KDA's had a comeback, and I want them to have one so bad because their debut and first comeback were so good, genuinely. And I mean, it's about time they reintroduce League players to good music, right? And that concludes this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want access to things such as our Discord server or my podcast that I upload 2 episodes of a month, consider clicking the second link in the description or the join button down below and becoming a member. As always, at the end of every video, we thank all of our channel members, so let's just do that now. Without further ado, thank you Opeach and ITZY, Woo Twice Tees, Dog, What's OP, Zeus112, Jackie, ZVH, Ian Latte, Soda Scribbles, Minakor, Adrian Wang, Shiny, Mizun Molnorovie, Fixon Jung, Cassie, Gav, Adifa N, Chili's Cafe, Ale, Julia Peterson, Che, 97th Heaven, Frosty Plays, Julian Zalazar, Jay, Alpha Fox, Edgy Does Things, Namjoon's Lost AirPods, Kyukun Love, Kaylin Caster, Elizabeth Allinger, Sonorinth, Miriam, Flo099, Woo Youngie, Jed, Mel T, Kieran Johnston, Silverwind, and Frago Bobo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and without further ado, I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace out.